Hello and welcome to the next edition of the HP Discover podcast series. I'm Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Inter Arbor Solutions, your host and moderator for this ongoing discussion on IT innovation and how it's making an impact on people's lives. Our next DevOps case study discussion explores how HP's internal engineering and IT organization, through research and development, are exploiting the values and benefits of DevOps methods and practices. Here to help us better understand the way that DevOps can aid in the task of product and technology development, please join me in welcoming our guest. We're here with James Chen, Vice President of Product Development and Engineering at HP. Welcome, James.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First, tell us a little bit about the scale of your organization. Clearly, HP is a technology company, has a very large internal IT organization, perhaps one of the largest among the Global 2000.
Yeah, we have a pretty sizable IT organization, as you can imagine, that we support all the HP product and solution to serving our customer. So roughly about somewhere around 8,000, 9,000 employees, and we have pretty large landscape of the application, such as like 2,500 enterprise scale large application. We also have six of the data center that host all the applications. So it's a pretty complicated infrastructure that we have. So for us, I think the DevOps mean a lot to us because this is the speed and agility that our customer looking for, and that's where we embark our journey to DevOps.
So tell us about that journey. How long has it been? How did you get started? And maybe even offer how you define DevOps, because it is a little bit of a loose topic in how people understand it and define it.
We have been on a DevOps journey in the last couple of years. I believe that there's a certain pocket of the organization or the developer team already practice somehow, somewhere in the different aspect of the DevOps. Somebody driving the complete automation of the testing, somebody do the fully kind of CI/CD, continuous integration, and continual deployment. But it never come down to the scale that we believe would start impact the overall enterprise application landscape. So about 6 months ago, we embarked on what we call a pilot program for the DevOps. What we really believe is that we want to be the one really practice about the DevOps, and the only way you can really taking the benefit on the DevOps and understand the DevOps, understand the implication of the DevOps to the IT organization is just go out doing it. And so we pick up some of the very complicated application that we believe that if we can do the pilot very well, I think we will learn a lot as an organization. I think we'll be able to define the future of the IT organization. We also believe that we can take our learning that really help our customer, HP's customer, to be successful. Because we do believe that every single IT shop today think about how they can go to the DevOps and how they can increase in speed, increase in agility. But they all had to start with somewhere. So our journey actually will be a good story to share with our peers and learn from each other.
And so, given that HP has so many different products, hardware and software, what is it that you did to find that right inception point? Given you have a very large inventory of potential places and ways that you could start your DevOps journey, what turned out to be a good place to start that then allowed you to expand successfully?
I think that what we believe is that there's a couple of things here. What we believe is the easiest way to doing this, I think, is to start with some of the homegrown application. Okay, and the reason homegrown application is a little bit easier simply because you don't have that large scale or ISV vendor dependence that you need to work with them. And then some of those applications is pretty large, they're very complicated, that you are not easy to be able to do the DevOps. So what we had decided is we pick up a handful of the application, and most of them are very complicated, and some of them is so important. And good example, like one of the application is the support automation application, which means that That support automation is touch every device, every product that we ship to our customer, because that application is essentially connection point of all the performance, all the device that in the customer data center, and how we monitor them, how we help with them. So it's very, what I consider is very important enterprise scale application, and it's mission critical. So that's one of the criteria, is they pick up the application that really complicated, and then most likely it's a homegrown application. The other criteria we pick up there is that we actually pick up the application that the application team itself already practice or are ready to do something. I really want to embracing that new methodology and new idea. The reason behind it is that we don't want to go out to set up a separate team to do the DevOps to parallel the existing developer team. What we like to do is ideally is the existing developer team and going through the transformation. They are become the transformation driver to take the old way to do the develop into the truly DevOps. So that's the second criteria, is the team, the people itself, they have to be motivated and get ready for the change. And that probably is the second one. The third one I would say that is the kind of the application and the scale and the impact is something that we understand the risky. We understand the implication. I think the better you have the understanding, I think you get easy to get buy-in by your business partner, get your buy-in by your executive team. That's kind of what we're using as a criteria as far as the taking into the DevOps.
So I'm really curious, given this super important application for HP, how performance is measured and managed across all of these deployments. Applying DevOps methodologies, getting that team buy-in, what did it earn you? What's the payoff? What did you see that made DevOps worthwhile?
So on the DevOps, what we believe the DevOps, I think we capture a very simple way, three dimensions. Okay, one is about collaboration, which what I mean collaboration is taking the operation into the developer and taking the developer into the operation. So the operation and developer working side by side, and that's the new relationship of the collaboration. Traditional way you're doing the developer finish the product and then you threw over the wall to the operation guy, and when something goes wrong, then we start chasing around, figure out who owned the issue. So that's kind of old way we're doing. The new way is a very close collaboration between the develop team and operation. So even at the get-go, when we start design the product or design the software application, we already have people that running the operation, running the support in the team that really understand the risky and understand the implication for the operation. So that's one thing, that one dimension, it's about the collaboration. Second piece is about automation. Okay, you want to figure out a way you can automate and end-to-end automation. And that's very important because you mentioned about a very good question is about how would you get buy-in by your business partner, say, hey, I'm going to doing the continual deliver and continual deployment, and what is the implication if something goes wrong, right? I think the automation itself has become very powerful weapon, because when you can able to automate the develop and the deploy process, you can easier to roll back when something goes wrong. And because that's a small incremental change that you are making every time, so the impact is much easier to understand. So it's much easier to roll back, and therefore we believe the downtime is much less than the normal way you're doing the process. So that's the second dimension about automation. The third one is about codification. The codification is everything as a code. So the old way that you define your infrastructure and have somebody go out manually to put all the infrastructure together for you to run the application, those times are over. The fully DevOps is that you are able to write a code that easily to configure your infrastructure, provisioning them, and get ready to run application. So codification. So all those three things, what we believe is truly important when we talk about this is the way we understand the DevOps. Just the collaboration, the codification, as well as the automation. Now, having said that, There's other implication about the organization, about the cultural change. Those are the things that very profound impact to our IT organization. So that's kind of where we understand the DevOps. And we're using that kind of our methodology, our thinking, take it to the stakeholder, take it to the customer, and show them the benefit that we are able to deliver for them. And that's the reason we get them buy-in and support to get going.
Is speed the number one reason to do this, or is it quality, or is it security? What is it that is the biggest reward when you do this well?
I would say that the speed, it's probably the number one reason that you go down to the DevOps. Now, of course, the quality, the high availability, the agility, they also have a significant improvement. But I would really focus on the speed, because if you're asking any business owner, business partner, or your customer today, number one challenge for them is the speed. Go back to the example that I mentioned at the very early of the conversation. I mentioned about this support automation piece, right? Traditionally, we do release every 6 months. Okay, and because it became so complicated, as you can imagine, we have all the product from storage, network, server, and hardware, software to our customer. So every release, in order to cover all those customers, all those devices, all this product, it requires pretty much 6 months delivery. Now, since you have the 6-month delivery cycle, what it means that every product you ship to your customer before next release, that's 6 months, at least a couple months, but in the worst case, it will be 6 months. Those devices or those products will not have a best support on the whole support automation capability, because that capability is not be ready until the next 6 months that we can include in this particular product skill, this particular product. So that is a significant sort of impact to the customer satisfaction, to the performance, to our service quality, right? So now we are talking about we can release every 2 weeks. And that's a significant improvement. And you can see customer is just so overwhelmingly happy with that, because now, every 2 weeks, every product release, within 2 weeks, you immediately have the support automation capability. You immediately have a best monitor, best proactive care capability that we provide to our customers.
I should think that also has an impact on the bottom line, because you're able to bring new features and functions to the market, add more value to products, and then charge more money for it. So it allows you to get the value of your organization into your bottom line all the faster as well.
Yeah. And when you compete with your competitor, when you say that you can deliver any product or service that have the core home capability that can do the support automation, can proactively take care of them, within the next 2 weeks, I think it's a huge advantage for us, because it typically taking in a few days or a couple of weeks to install your everything anyway. So that 2 weeks, it's probably the best kind of timing optimized for this kind of service scheme. Now, can we go down to push it to 1 week or a few days? It is possible, but the return of the investment may not be paid back on day one. So I think for every application, when you call about DevOps, it's not about that, you want to do as fast as possible. No, you want to look at the real business case. Say, what's the sweet spot for us as far as get to DevOps? Will I have to drive every 2-day release or every two weeks release? In this particular case, we do believe that, look at the customer feedback, look at the business partners feedback. I think 2 weeks is the right spot for us, and that is significantly better than what we used to have every 6 months.
Well, great. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. We've been exploring how HP's internal engineering organization is exploiting the values and benefits of DevOps methods and practices. So I'd like to thank our guest. We've been joined by James Chen, Vice President of Product Development and Engineering at HP. Thank you, James.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And I'd also like to extend a big thank you to our audience for joining this special DevOps innovation case study discussion. I'm Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Inter Arbor Solutions, your host for this ongoing series of HP-sponsored discussions. Thanks again for listening, and come back next time.